everyone, it's Yvonne, long time no see. So today I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas pudding. Now, I bet you're wondering, why am I uploading this now? Christmas was a couple days ago. Well, this is really something that you should do at least a year in advance. It's better with age. So traditionally the time to make this is Stir-Up Sunday, which is the first Sunday in Advent. So that's like the first Sunday in December or the last Sunday in November, depending on how the calendar is. And then let it age for a month or more. So in this case, I'm making puddings for next year because I wasn't really, I wasn't home in time to do any real Christmas baking this year. So yeah, it's something that if it's part of your tradition, definitely make it yourself. I really disliked Christmas pudding until one year we got one that was from the farmer's market and was homemade, and it was so monumentally better than anything I'd ever had that from that point on I've made Christmas puddings every year. So it's something, it's not easy, it's not quick, but it's really worth the effort. And the thing is that you don't have to do this every year. I do this every like 3-4 years, and I just make a whole bunch of puddings and they don't go bad. I'm serious, they don't go bad. There's enough alcohol in them to act as a preservative. They'll just eventually dry out, and that really intensifies the flavor, makes them really tasty. So anyway, this is my pudding topped with hard sauce. I flambéed it. So yeah, if you're a pudding eater, make it this way. Anyway, keep watching for my technique and recipe. Into your largest bowl, combine raisins, golden raisins or sultanas, currants, glacé cherries, candied citrus peel, and other dried fruits. I'm using figs and apricots, but you can use whatever you like. Next, add a spirit of your choosing. I'm using brandy, but rum, cognac, sherry all work equally well. Cover and let macerate at least overnight, but preferably for 3 or 4 days. When the fruit has absorbed all the spirits, it's time to add beaten egg, sugar, almonds, and spices: cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, clove, allspice, black pepper, salt, and orange zest. Next, add chopped or ground suet, breaking up any lumps as you go. For a vegetarian alternative, you could use shortening or butter. However, the finished product will be a lot denser and a lot greasier in texture. Finally, add fresh breadcrumbs. Fresh breadcrumbs add a yeasty hardiness without making the batter too dense. Be sure to combine everything so that the batter is smooth. At this point, you might want to give up on the spoon and just use your hands. Grease your pudding molds well. Instead of the traditional pudding basin, I'm just using ceramic bowls because they're cheap and I can give them away. Pack the batter firmly into the pudding molds, ensuring that there's no air pockets or gaps between the edges, as this could cause the pudding to break apart as you unmold it. Cover with a circle of parchment, and then cover with foil. At no point should the foil ever touch the pudding, as it can deteriorate while in storage. Secure with elastic bands. No moisture should be able to get in or get out. The puddings then need to steam. Place in a pot and add hot water about 1 inch up the side. Cover and let it simmer on low for about 6 hours. After 6 hours, remove the puddings and let them cool slightly, then remove the foil and the parchment. The pudding should have turned a deep mahogany color. This is the Maillard reaction and gives it good flavor. What you need to do next is just add a splash more alcohol, just to act as a preservative, and then you'll need to replace the foil and the parchment. For long-term storage, also wrap in plastic wrap. However, be sure to remove the plastic wrap before steaming, of course leaving the foil and the parchment intact. So once you've let the pudding age and you want to serve it, you need to re-steam it for 1.5 hours, 2 hours, maybe even 3, depending on how dried out your pudding is. Mine were only made a couple weeks ago, so this is still good, or it's still very moist, so it didn't need a very long steaming time. If you're leaving this for an entire year, I would suggest steaming it for at least 2 hours. And then what you need to do is just remove the foil and the parchment and turn it out onto a plate. And there's your pudding. You can serve it just like this, but I'm gonna flambe it. So I've got spirits here, at least 40%. I'm using rum. You can use rum, brandy, cognac. I'm not sure what the percentage of alcohol in sherry is, but for 40% alcohol, the flash point is it's like 26 or 27 degrees. So you just need to warm it slightly before it'll burn. So what I'm gonna do is, this is already heated up. Some people pour this into a ladle for easier handling, but there we go. And just for fun, I've got some plain sugar here. And kind of sprinkle it on top, make it dance. And this is gonna make like a caramelized shell on the outside. So yeah, it's really not hard. The hardest part of flambeing is you have to heat it up first. Because yeah, room temperature alcohol doesn't burn that well. If you warm it up a little bit, it does burn really, really well. So, ta-da, that's how we eat plum pudding. We don't eat it like this. We eat it with hard sauce. Let me just grab it. So I'm serving this with what is called hard sauce, and it's very, very similar to frosting. Not quite as sweet as frosting would be, but very similar ingredients. So it's butter, real butter, don't use margarine for this, and then either brown sugar or powdered confectioner's sugar, and then either vanilla extract or brandy or rum or another liqueur just to flavor it a little bit. And then you just serve it with your plum pudding and it brings up the sweetness. You can also serve it with custard or with condensed milk. I like condensed milk best, but I didn't buy any this year. So anyway, this is the pudding. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this is something you try, and if it's part of your Christmas tradition to eat this, make sure you make the best. So thanks so much for watching, and you can check down below for the full recipe.